What is up, Light Fam? Welcome to another video. My name is David. I'm often asked how to start your spiritual journey. And one of the first places that I like to start is to increase your level of self-awareness. The spiritual journey is all about getting to know the real you, fearlessly aligning with your sovereignty and boldly moving forward in life with that deep knowing. So obviously being self-aware is the first step to getting to know the real you. So let's get into this topic of self-awareness so you can understand how getting to know yourself can lead you to the life that you really want to live. Let's go. If you are new to the channel, please smash that notification bell, smash the subscribe button. Also, if you feel called to work with me one-on-one, check the description box below. We got a couple of different options for you. Now let's get into the video. So what is self-awareness? Well, many of the psychological online definitions basically all summarize it to be the ability to see one's self clearly and objectively through reflection and introspection. The goal being to honestly evaluate your strengths and your weaknesses, your beliefs, how you perceive yourself, how you believe others to perceive you, with the awareness of how your beliefs affect your world, how your actions and your words affect yourself and others. But what's the spiritual definition of self-awareness? Well, I believe this is the whole point of the spiritual journey. It's the journey of getting to know yourself. It's becoming aware of yourself as source consciousness, as the universe itself, observing itself as the universe. This is my definition, spiritual definition of self-awareness. So how can self-awareness change your life? Well, from the psychological perspective, if you're able to honestly assess your strengths and weaknesses, then you can play to your strengths, as they say. And that would definitely make life a little bit easier, right? I'm sure you guys are familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. Gary V says self-awareness is not all about betting on your strengths, but it's also about accepting your shortcomings. Ooh, I like that word, accepting. Because accepting does not mean to separate, it means to integrate. Shame and self-hate are at the core of the worst mental disorders. So when we can accept all aspects of ourself, we don't make any aspect of ourself an enemy. And that doesn't promote internal division, but instead wholeness and inner peace. Basically what he's saying is own it. Own those weaknesses. Because when you own it, you're able to move forward in life because all parts of you are working in integration, in unison. Now, how can self-awareness change your life from a spiritual perspective? Well, when we step into what's called the observer mind, we operate from a space of unity consciousness. We're able to look at the events of our life. The shadow aspects and triggers, the trajectory of our life in an objective manner. Instead of blowing things out of proportion, it allows us to see the bigger picture and keeps us from believing the lies or the illusions of the Maya. I've got this picture in my brain of Neo looking at the Matrix with all the ones and the zeros going down. That's looking through the illusion of the Maya, the illusion of the Matrix. So operating from unity consciousness allows you to kind of take the perspective away from your personal perspective of things and look through the eyes of your fellow human. This may cause you to choose your words differently before you speak. Is what you're about to say going to uplift and inspire the other person? So operating from unity consciousness allows you to respond instead of react. It helps you to be a better communicator. It helps to build stronger relationships. It helps to prevent you from finger pointing. It helps you be a better leader, and you get a much better overall sense of fulfillment in life because your level of harmony is much higher. Developing self-awareness boosts your emotional intelligence. Now, emotional intelligence is a super important term when it comes to creating the reality that we wish to experience. Why? Well, let's break it down. That first word, emotions. What are emotions? Energy in motion, and everything is energy. And emotions super consecrates that energy to align with the people, places, and things that are a vibrational match. And what about intelligence? Well, for me, this is consciousness. I believe consciousness is intelligent energy or sentient energy. And since we're all intelligent points of consciousness living in a soup of creating energy, you can see that if you can master your level of emotional intelligence, basically control your emotions, then you can master what you experience and create in your life. As I mentioned earlier, self-awareness involves analyzing your strengths and weaknesses. But it's difficult to expand and accentuate your light if you're unaware of your dark. Meaning, a large part of self-awareness involves shadow work. Yes, shadow work. Loving, accepting, healing, and integrating whatever childhood trauma is lurking in the shadows is crucial for you living your best life. You're only as strong as your weakest link, and you can rest assured that your higher self will continue to bring in that shadow trigger until you decide to face it, do the inner work, heal it, and love it. So if you are unfamiliar with shadow work, you can go watch my video right here. What is shadow work? If you want to know how to do shadow work, you can go watch my second video on shadow work, how to do shadow work. Now, I advise that you couple any shadow work or any healing work that you need to do with the very powerful ancient Hawaiian healing technique of Ho'oponopono. If you don't know what Ho'oponopono is, you can go watch my video right here. Ho'oponopono. A final point that I want to share with you when doing your self-awareness introspection on your strengths and weaknesses is not to identify as those strengths and weaknesses. You are so much more than your personality traits. You're so much more than your innate talents. You're way more than your shortcomings. So when we don't attach our identity to our attributes, we stop identifying as the mind. We stop identifying as the ego. You're an infinite, multi-dimensional being. You have a mind, but you are not your mind. You have strengths and weaknesses, but you are not your strengths and weaknesses. Those strengths and weaknesses are just tools that you decided to bring with you into the physical. One set of tools or attributes gives you an advantage in this physical construct that you wanted to experience, and the other set of tools or attributes allows you to experience the contrast that you wanted to experience in the physical when you were from the perspective of your formless source consciousness. Now, question of the day. What does self-awareness mean for you? Leave those comments below, Light Fam. I'd love to get an open discussion on this one. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Check the description box for any goodies. I'll see you guys in the next video. Light, love, and abundance to all that are watching and to all you love. Peace, guys.